with liberty and justice for all.
Just a moment, silence to observe all the uncertainties of the world around us and for us to stay focused on the tasks at hand. Thank you, everyone. All right. Today is Tuesday, February 17th. I hope everyone had a lovely Valentine's Day for all the ladies out there. It's 5:30, your municipal senate and gentlemen. Madam Recorder, roll call.
Greg Sheen,
Present.
Susan Webster is here, Elizabeth Skinner is absent, Mary Lynn Hickey. Here. Reba Dawson. Here. Brian Kessel.
Here.
And Rick Weber.
Perfect, thank you. Everyone take a moment, if you have not done so yet, to review the minutes from last week's meeting.
A lot of reading.
There it is. But all the information required for the garbage, or the sanitation truck is complete, and thank you.
See, I'll jump off.
Well, you only buy a brand new garbage truck once every 250 years. So I think we're doing just fine with that.
They're so good.
You can remember the first time you did it?
Oh, yeah. My picture was taken by the Morgan Messenger when have you ever seen that? You may have taken it. Back in the day when we got a new garbage truck. And what happened was I was in a beach dress, a pink beach dress and flip-flops, and the new garbage truck.
Yeah.
So I'm standing with the new garbage truck in my pink beach dress and flip-flops. It's on the front page of the Morgan Messenger, and you guys just thought it was hysterical. So anyway.
Oh, I thought you were going to see you got splashed or something.
Well, we'll have to
recreate that.
We should reprint that.
Yes.
That in now.
Yes.
I thought that's where
Yeah.
she was. That's what.
Susan, you could just be later, Lady of the Spring.
Oh, we tried to get her to be Lady of the
All right.
Springs.
I'm gonna bring this meeting back to center.
I wish you would.
We have no one appearing before council today, and of course, it is the 36th annual International Water Tasting Competition beginning on Thursday. We have the opportunity to host the event, the town of Bath Berkeley Springs Water Works. And please, that is what the sign in front of us, this is an ad that's appearing in the program for the event, as well as signage, and the town will have a booth there as well. The mayor is going to be one of the judges. Mary, there's some Councilwoman Hickey will be there as an ambassador for the town, working with some of the guests, judges that are coming in. So it's going to be a long day Saturday. If anyone can make it from council on Saturday, that would be great. Extra hands are always needed. So really excited about the event.
And the poster.
And also just as for the record, this artwork was prepared in-house, so there was no graphic design fees or anything like that by our by Sandra Venuto upstairs, and she's been doing some great work for us on design. And she also is the website administrator and has learned WordPress and some other things to help keep those costs down, and she's doing a great job. We just doesn't a day go by that we don't receive compliments on the quality of our website. Thank you to everyone. Move down to our committee and board reports. Mary, do you want to cover on-track activity?
Sure.
Thank you.
So for the month of February, we do have this giveaway sponsored by the Renaissance Spa, and you can register, to enter on our website. Is that the only place how you can do it? Through our website? I think it is.
Yes.
Okay. So that's happening. And then in March, we have reached out, or in the process of reaching out to, I think, 6 or 7 restaurants. We'll leave it up to them to plan a lovely St. Patrick's Day special, and then we're going to promote them all. So that is the plan for March. We've got our fabulous Flavors food truck.
Founding Flavors.
Founding Flavors, also fabulous. In May,
Yep.
That's happening in May. I don't know what we had for April, or maybe we don't yet. I think we
Make
had
it
something.
shine.
Oh, Make It Shine, yes, yes.
Oh, geez.
Sorry. So every month there is a way to celebrate the beautiful town of Bath in our 250th year. And we're very excited about that. OnTruck is taking a front row seat in organizing all these activities. Very excited about that too. And so I think that covers everything for now. And just as a heads up, the town has the state park for the entire day on the 4th of July. And I mean to tell you, you don't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because we are making it happen in all the special ways in our state park on the 4th of July. And more details on what's going to happen that day, followed by the Saturday night concert in the park, this year sponsored on the 4th of July by the town of Bath. And we are very proud to do that on behalf of our partners over at the Mac Ice House, who have really experienced some significant budget challenges, like 52% of their budget getting whacked with state money and other grant money that they've had. So we were happy to support them and happy to make sure that our 4th of July will have the cherry on top that evening with a concert.
Right, and more importantly, or equally importantly, the following week on the 11th, we'll have the Weber Brothers in town. So there'll be two great shows that begin the season in the park. So we're just very excited and, to get started with that sponsorship. Thank you, Mary. And also in regard to OnTrack, we are hitting all our metrics. We had to submit 6 reports last week, which basically it's kind of an executive summary on some of the events that OnTrack participated in, Christmas market, rubber duck race, and all these type of things. So Brianna's doing a great job staying on top of all that. So thank you to her. Parks and Rec, we don't have anyone here. Planning Commission.
Good evening or afternoon. At our last meeting, we sat down with the water department, scoped a little bit for the comprehensive plan inputs, and that's moving forward. At the meeting on the 11th of March, we will be sitting down with the grant committee and the cemetery committee and doing similar work. Of note, different than planning for St. Patrick's Day, St. Vincent de Paul is also having a dinner as well. So we'll feed that to the OnTrack folks so that can be pulled in to show what the community is doing. And speaking of St. Vincent de Paul, I just left our Shrove dinner, which was wonderful. And if we get done early enough, I encourage anybody to head on down and celebrate the last day before Lent starts tomorrow with Ash Wednesday.
I'm
So
leaving anyway.
there you go. Or just follow Susan. She'll get you down
What's
there.
on the menu?
Pancake, sausage, egg casserole. It's like breakfast for dinner. Biscuits with gravy, fruit salad, chocolate cake, and something else.
And when does it?
It goes until 7:00 tonight. But I would get there immediately following. So that's all I have. Thank you.
That's why Susan asked for an early dismissal this evening.
Rail, trail, and streetscapes. We do have.
Pete's report
In our
in our packets.
As it relates to the depot lot, we are conducting the final bidder interviews this Thursday and Friday. That's the selection of the engineering companies.
Good.
Yeah, so that will finally get resolved, and then we can award the contracts and begin to proceed on the train depot, long-awaited remediation of the train depot lot. We have also received task order 3, which is a 30% design cost estimate for Independence Street West. So this would be Inspired Chaos, the new Crust Pizzeria, the sidewalks, changing the parking patterns.
Oh,
So that's,
never mind.
never mind, okay.
I don't have to write this down because I can read it just like you.
It's all right, it's right here in the document.
Thank you.
I think that is basically all Pete has that is new at the moment, but those are 2 pretty big projects.
There won't be a streetscape meeting this Thursday morning. All you guys are doing the interviews.
Friday morning?
We said Thursday and Friday.
19th.
We said all morning, Thursday and Friday.
Okay, better check the schedule on that one. Okay, that takes care of that. Landmark Commission, Priscilla, do you have anything for us?
Hello, we are meeting here again on Monday, and everyone, including our associate members, are doing a ton of research on the things that we would recommend for the walking tour and for the video that we're planning on creating. And so I know you guys have been talking to, or about the historic, preservation and lands of West Virginia, and I've been in touch with them as well. So maybe what we do is we provide information for the brochure and the layout perhaps, and then you can staff it the way you guys want as far as actually leading perhaps tours. It sounds like that's what's going on for the May event. Does it sound familiar to you?
Yeah, it does sound familiar.
Yeah, okay.
I
Well, I
can
just
give you
don't
the
wanna
details.
Double, we need to do the work and then we can kind of decide who's leading the tours on that day.
Yeah, we should probably have several tour
Right.
guides
Right.
to do that, but yes, did Brianna send some information out on track in regard to that? Is that where that information
Yes.
came?
She sent me a one-liner to get back to you and now I'm getting back to you. So,
Okay,
I think that it sounded like PAWB reached out to you guys about a walking tour. But we'll make the material up and everything, and then whoever leads it is who leads it.
Okay.
One thing we did at Christmas years ago that was successful was we did church tours. The older churches in town were there
Ooh, I
quite a
like
few,
that.
and the churches got involved and they opened their doors and gave people tours of their churches. You know, Presbyterian Catholic Church been there since 32, that building. The Episcopal Church, the Presbyterian Church, the Methodist Church, and they all were thrilled to do it. And this was at Christmas time, but this would be better because better weather and like that.
Mhm.
So
We do have two churches on there that we're researching. One is Trinity Asbury, and the other is the one that's the original Black church in town. Because that one we're looking at, because there are grants that are
Up on
available.
Green?
Yes. Because it's an opportunity, and there are some grants that are appropriate for it.
Yeah,
So
the Presbyterian Church is the oldest church in town. The second oldest is the Episcopal Church. These were both 1800s. And so you have historic, and those people, I think, would want to be involved.
So we were thinking of the logistics of walking, and then also more material for the actual conference itself would be things that might be farther up the hills that no one wants to really walk up to. So that's kind of we're doing logistics of what's real tight in town, starting at the Springs and doing a loop.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. That's exciting. I
it's
like it.
fun. Yeah, we're having a good time. It's a lot of work.
Priscilla, what's the date again for the?
The
walking
conference at Cape Haven State Park is
Is May
May 12th through 14th.
12th. So what's the thing on the 20th? That's different then.
That's the rendezvous for
Okay.
travel,
Alright.
hosted by Travel Berkeley Springs.
Okay.
That's the next weekend. Okay, I'll try to track what's going on with that walking tour. Okay. Madam Clerk, do you have anything?
Just a reminder that if you would like to apply for hotel motel funds again this year, the applications are due by the end of the month.
Thank you. All right, that's an important date. Madam Reporter,
Okay, all right, we did get a couple, applications for property use request. One, is for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and this comes from, EPIC, which is Eastern Panhandle, Empowerment Center. And what they want to do is put ribbons on the parking meters and little signs on the parking meters. Now, what we did in the Finance Committee was approve this subject to a couple stipulations, in that they keep the ribbons, they keep these things all neat and not hanging off and falling down and like that. They don't cover the meters whatsoever. And that, you know, they are up for a certain amount of time, but they're kept looking nice and neat and don't cover the meters. So we approved it with some stipulations. The other request was for the Founding Flavors Food Truck Festival. Be careful. And what they, don't write the suit Webster said, be careful. Don't do that. So anyway, and what they need is Congress Street, the west side of Congress Street, Fairfax Street, and Wilk Street, kind of making a U there with the food trucks and like this. And this would be on, and we just talked about May 29th. And so we did approve that. So that one's a go, and they've been very successful before, and I think they will be again. So anyway, that's what we did there.
Okay.
They is now us.
They-
We're hosting.
Yes,
Mm.
they
That
is
is
us.
That is us.
We're all together.
All right, now,
Okay.
want to move on to finance?
We just have a couple bills, and I don't know how this happens. This never happens.
No.
But, we have I make a motion that we pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $15,708.96.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second. Town of Bath bills in the amount of $15,708.96. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Okay, I make a motion that we pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bills in the amount of $54,138.38.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the Berkeley Springs water bills in the amount of $54,138.38. All in favor? Any discussion? Motion carries.
And that's it.
And that is it. That is
That's
quick.
it. That's a wrap.
All right.
Yeah.
Kate, do you have anything for us?
Yes.
All right.
Since the last council meeting, the Division of Forestry reinforced the tree board for $22,039.66. The full amount that we've currently spent, as part of the community tree group.
Well done.
Well, we have finished all of the projects outlined in the proposal. There's $4,099.34 remaining in the grant. And the tree board will discuss possible projects to use the remaining funds at its meeting tomorrow at 5.
Great.
And members of the tree board checked out some trees of concern on Beiser Street. The trees in question are on private property, and as far as we could see, there's no reason to reach out to the property owners and suggest they might want to do something. They look fine. And there are no updates on the demonstration city grant.
No,
You're gonna resume work in the spring, yeah?
Yes.
good work. Thank you. Mary, I'm sorry, do we have a grants?
I'm just gonna hand it over to our grant goddess over here.
So we have 3 grants in the hopper now for downtown beautification. One is West Virginia Tourist Foundation, one is T-Mobile, and one is a reapplied for AARP Challenge Grant. If we got them all, there'll be about $60 grand, which would make a nice dent in what we plan to spend for the downtown refresh, to include flower pots hanging from all of our antique lamps, double-sided, custom banners hanging from the tops of those lamps that our lovely Pixels person is working on the design for that will be design adjacent to what you see on our website and our branding that we are using for anything that's public facing. So we'll be consistent with that. And then permanent seating, that's the most expensive. For sure, we're gonna be able to get the banners up. We're gonna be able to get the flower pots up, get the flowers in them. Kate could probably use some good suggestions for where to go get flowers. And we want all that up this spring. We want it up by Memorial Day, for the summertime and for all the things, if not sooner. So I'm very excited about those grants. We are in a little bit of a holding pattern now on the 1.75 million in grants and loans applied for through Region 9 for the water utility. That's about 25% of what we need for everything we need to do, but that's a pretty decent start. And just working that process with Region 9 to secure those funds. So that's essentially, I think that's everything for grants.
Good, okay. All right. Officer Stengel, do you have anything to add for public safety?
Just everything's going as planned, as far as I know. The chief and Sandy and I, we welcomed the new parking meter guy, Frank. Glad to have him on board. He's doing a great job from my understanding so far. And no major instance here lately. It's happened. Everything's going pretty good. Saturday was a very busy day for us. Being Valentine's Day, this town was very packed and it was pretty quiet.
Okay. Josh, that's such a valid point you just made. 'Cause, the First Lady and I went on a recruiting mission to Martinsburg on Valentine's Day to recruit in another restaurant to join our restaurants. And Martinsburg's a pretty significant sized city. It's about 18,000, 19,000 people or so, somewhere in that area. The size of our county. And Valentine's Day, we were in a very, very good restaurant, and it was 75% empty. And you could not, relative to the town of Bath, if you went to try to have a Valentine's dinner on Saturday, you would not have found a seat.
Without a reservation.
And the sidewalks, our sidewalks were much, much busier than what I saw in Martinsburg. So our economy continues to outpace and outperform the economy from many, many other municipalities in the state of West Virginia. And it's going to be a great year. The lodging numbers are exceeding last year's lodging numbers to start the year. So we're off to a great start. So I just wanted to just kind of piggyback on what you said there. Some of the things we're looking at or pursue grants on, we do need to upgrade our vehicles. That's the next thing in line, our cruisers. We've done things with our cameras and our equipment, and it's time to take a look at our cruisers and improving the vehicles these guys will have to work in. For the general public, yes, we are fully staffed in parking enforcement 7 days a week now. So there are no days off for parking. Our
Do the right thing.
Our
7
guys
days a
are
week.
out there doing their job. So just fair warning to make sure that we're keeping traffic safe and moving and all those things. So that wraps up public safety. Next meeting is actually tomorrow at 3 p.m. Josh, thank you. Larry?
Mr. Mayor, we also have traffic court tomorrow morning.
And we have traffic court tomorrow morning. Our traffic court is getting busier, courtesy of Officer Stengel.
Larry has something to do with that as well.
What time is that?
9 o'clock.
That's must-see TV, by the way.
I was thinking, I want to.
We'll make a fortune on the commercials we're going to sell, just leading into that for the town water. Beth is not here for cemetery. I don't know if anyone else has anything to add for cemeteries.
Just on the cemeteries, they are doing a workshop on March the 5th for restoration of the headstones, and that's going to be at the Ice House, I believe.
Thank you for that. Yeah. For those that have any interest in doing that, or some people do like to rub on some headstones for whatever reason. Public Works, Rick?
As you should all know, the past few weeks, the topic of conversation has always been snow plowing and snow removal and either good work or lack thereof. Let me back up and just tell you, there's going to be a meeting next week of all the people that plow in the town. And I learned a whole lot just researching this. It's not just the town and DOH. We have the town, we have DOH, we have Roy's, we have Jamie Clark's landscaping company that does some. The courthouse has some flowers, and some guy named Steve also does something in town.
Fairview Lawn.
So Fairview Landscape is Jamie Clark's. So everybody's a little bit testy when you get over a foot of snow. And let me give you a little history lesson here. When I first moved here in 1995, 1996, we had 5 feet of snow over 3 days. 10 years later, in 2016, we had 3.5 feet in one dumping. 10 years later after that, 2026, we had our little visit a couple weeks ago. And every time you have one of this magnitude, the normal plowing, everybody gets along and does their little parts, and nobody steps on each other's toes, and everybody's okay. Now, when you have this foot of snow or more, then everybody's trying to do their part. They're clearing their area, then they're putting the snow in somebody else's without really caring. If you notice Fairfax Street, that whole bank of parking spaces was just this massive mound of snow. That was courtesy of the courthouse plowers. So as you went around town, you could figure out, like, okay, this is the town's, they didn't put this here. So we're going to have this meeting next week with all these people involved, and everybody's getting maps of the town with street names and all the storage drains throughout the entire town of Bath. And we're going to walk out of that meeting with, okay, this is yours, this is mine, this is theirs, and everybody will have responsibility for certain storm drains, and we'll all be on the same page. In setting this up and talking with Jimmy Farris, This should have happened 30 years ago. Instead of every 10 years, we end up having this discussion and there's never a meeting to rectify it. So that is where we are at this point. That's enough about snowing. But I did talk to people that have visited Hagerstown, Winchester, and Martinsburg. And to a person, they have all said the snow removal, the sidewalks, everything in this town were 800 times better than any of those places a week later. So whether people were happy or had their shorts in a bunch about it, we all got through it and worked together, and everybody, our crew's been going around cleaning up the piles. And so hopefully we're done with snow, but you never know. Tomorrow morning, we have a tour around the town to look at our paving for this next round of us doing it. Greg and I and the guy from the paving company and Sam will go around and we're looking at the area around the cemetery, that whole area to do that, put parking spaces in. We did Warren Street, which is down by Roy's last spring. And now that's going to go from Mercer to Green, that part by Lot 12.
Yeah.
And then the whole way up the hill from Green, it's, what is it, College, whatever the street is,
Yes.
all the way to the top of the hill.
Wow.
The other part of that road was already done. Then next year, we will go into looking at that whole circle that is Lee Circle to get that whole thing done. But that's next. The other ones we're going to look at tomorrow are Congress Street and Independence. I'll let Greg talk about those.
So those are
two.
state streets, but we're having a conversation with the state for us to get a little more autonomy over and support on those streets. Both Congress, East Side, Independence, West Side are dangerous. There's a lot of trip hazards, particularly there in front of Creekside Creamery. It's a drop off of the because that pavement's been topped 3 or 4 times right there that the asphalt has, so that it's just a complete mess. And then down here on Independence Street. So we're taking a look at that. I mean, that's going to require milling. This is, it's much more expensive. But again, we just have to avoid these trip accidents are just happening, and we're just getting ready to move into the season, and we need to really be concerned.
And we're looking at Congress Street East and Independence Street West.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Those are the two that we're looking at.
And the other thing, we're going to take the guy from P&W down. We're going to have him drive down Church Street. Last July, we had them come around. There were cracks in the road from the heavy equipment from the house across the street from me. We went ahead and sealed all those cracks. And the day after that was done, they bring in a big dumpster again. So there's another one. Well, all those cracks now are not just cracks in the pavement. Now they're holes like this, 3 of them on the road. And I don't know if there's a cheaper way to fix them without repaving the whole road. So
Well, short term, you could do a pothole fix, but
it's not a pothole.
it's not
It's
a
a rut,
sustainable
it's a
solution.
gap across the entire street. 3 of
Oh,
them. 3 of them.
okay.
So we'll see what he says about that, and then we'll take that up and see what we have to do. So that's it.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Well, thank you, Rick. Good work. Good work to the yes.
I just have a question for Rick.
Okay.
I love your organization on trying to figure out the snow removal map. Do you think that some of that will work also for flooding and who cleans off the drains during a flooding event?
What we typically do is before there's any kind of weather event, I'm just speaking for the town guys. Our guys go around and do all of the ones that we typically do before there's any kind of a weather event. As far as some of the ones in town that people don't know, some are on private property, some aren't. So if you have any issues with the storm drains not being done, call us. I mean, we can take a look and see what we can do.
Well, I don't have an issue. I take care of the one in front of my building, but it's technically town property. So I just wondered, does everyone think that way or how?
I take
I'm
care of
think-
mine.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking this meeting, everybody is coming in like they just don't want people infringing on their part. And so, yeah, I mean, if there's an issue with that, we can look.
Thanks.
Looking at storm drains is fun.
It's so fun.
It's fun. I mean,
Oh no, they climb under those things that go under people's driveways, and there's groundhogs and skunks and snakes. Yeah, I'll be diving in there.
I asked because LA just flooded and they were not prepared for it, and so many businesses got ruined because nobody knew whose job it was to clean out the drains.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it's your-
that's a routine.
We will have clean
Unless you
drains
never-
and
don't ever
clean
get-
gutters.
rain, and then you're just like, now what?
I know,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it rained, yeah.
We'll have several projects as it relates to cleaning the streets, the greens, the ash, the gravel. That's really piled up this season.
I mean, the end of last fall, we had all of Washington Street, both sides
We had to clean.
look good, and now just driving back into town the other day, it's like,
And all our
okay,
beautiful-
boys, guess what we're doing when it warms up?
And all our beautiful painted curbs were crushed by equipment doing the corners. We did-
Well, and when when DOH had to go up and down both sides of the street to get
They took out
that
concrete
snow
on
out, oh, I know,
522.
yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to get that repoured right there in front of Mountain Laurel.
Yep.
It's about a
Yep.
3-foot section of gutter that was taken out.
Would DOH fix what they broke?
We can get on a 20-year list.
Yeah, it's better to do it ourselves.
We will be quicker
You're
getting
right.
it. We can get it done quicker, cheaper, faster. And, that's all. we do. But thank you, Rick, for staying on top of all those things. Ryan, what do you have for us?
If you recall, in the past few meetings, the town passed the vacant structure registry ordinance. And now we are in the implementation phase. So we're going to be contacting property owners who may be, have properties potentially that would be on such a registry, make them aware of this ordinance and aspects of that. Mary, did you want to add anything to that?
Well, again, this will be a friendly reminder that the new ordinance has been imposed with a fee structure, not a tax, but a fee. A copy of the ordinance will be attached to the letter to those properties that are in question as far as being secure, having utilities, being vacant for over 90 days. So again, we're just going to reach out. A lot of these folks are not from the town. They're outside of the town, some outside of the state. So we're going to take our first action. Will just be a friendly letter with a copy of the ordinance and the possibility that their property could be added. If they have a question regarding that, they can reach out to the mayor's office and we will talk about their individual properties. Larry.
There, just an observation of a guy who walks a lot of sidewalks in Berkeley Springs. There may be an opportunity to talk snow removal and vacant properties, because if the property is vacant and the sidewalk doesn't get shoveled, which is the owner's responsibility, then what? Okay, and that may be something if the town picks up that responsibility.
That came up,
Okay.
our guys will go ahead and do it, but the person that owns the building will be charged.
There you go. Okay.
Fair.
Just like cutting grass on people's
Fair.
property,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't cut the grass, they get a bill.
We will just be,
And they don't pay that.
we will make sure that we follow up on.
90% of the businesses did their part.
But I'm just saying there's some potential crosstalk between ordinance and you guys
Yeah,
on
yeah, I think just beginning to do this messaging to those property owners, like if they understand.
It's gonna light a fire.
Yeah, we're much more serious. And the bottom line here, folks, is that these properties become offered for sale is the idea, so that as we can continue our renaissance. I mean, we don't need new development, we need restoration of the properties that are in town. That makes the most sense. The utilities are already here, the infrastructure's in place. This is the most cost-efficient thing to do. And there are a good number of properties, 6 to 10 properties that need immediate attention, and those are the ones that are going to get addressed moving forward. Good points, Larry. Thanks for that. Mary, water?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ryan. do you have
That's
anything
all I
else?
have.
Okay. I'm sorry.
So I'm not going to talk about grants today because there's nothing new to report on that. We've got our process in process with Region 9, waiting for that to reach its conclusion. What I do want to do as a point of public information that's very important for us, for the county commissioners and their planning, and for our water customers to appreciate where we are at this point in time with our consumption. At the end of the month of January, which is a lighter month, is it not?
It is for what it is.
Our average daily pumping was 351,000 gallons with the plant running 18 hours a day. Best practice dictates that we do not run that plant. It gets at least 4 hours of rest per day. We've got 2-hour margin of additional pumping or filtering capacity Filter, 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 not pumping, filter. So that is one number I want to share. That's where we are now. As I reported at the last meeting, the new housing development going down on 13 and Valley Road with 200 homes, we've approved their water connection, and the addition of them, we have several others coming on board, infill development, 8 units, 200 units, 1111. The finish line in terms of our capacity, which we know will be approximately 500,000 gallons per day that we can filter. We can infinitely pump, but filter is another number, and that's the only number that really counts in terms of what goes on through the filter to be consumed by the public. So right now, as I say, we're at, the average is 352. That will be up over 400 in the summer months. With what we've got right now, not including the 200 homes, or the 8 homes going in up the street, plus there's another thing going in up the street. There's 2 projects up there. So I just think it is ethically important for us to tell this story in real time, and for folks to be aware that this resource, while the resource of water itself may not be finite, the filtering capacity is. And also, we are not planning to expand the plant and expand the capacity. We are planning to shore up current capacity needs with the service area we have. And we will know when it's time. We've now secured legal counsel specifically on water issues to advise us through this process. We will know when it's time to proactively reach out to PSD and say, looks like we're pretty close to that number.
PSC.
PSC. I always get them confused. Thank you, Susan.
Sure.
So we will do that, and we will at every step make sure that we are in real time communicating the real time situation with our water plant. And there are no surprises, and we are reporting it as soon as we know it. These numbers were through the end of January, and today is February 17th. So this is a real lifetime snapshot of what's going on. But again, it is important to note, this is probably our slowest month of the year. We get into the summertime with all the toilets flushing over the country inn and every Airbnb in town and all the other places. It's a different situation. And it is not hard for me to imagine just doing the modeling of current consumption and future consumption, that by the summertime, we may be discussing an endpoint as a function of our capacity. So I just want to make sure that I share that information as I know it. And I just got this report from our water and superintendent this afternoon. So that is what I'd like to share today.
That is excellent information. And there's really 3 data points that you have to look at in simplest terms. Is right. It is your capacity of the water that you can treat and pump, number 1. Number of hours that keeps us in compliance, which is 20, a maximum of 20 hours. And then the third is what we don't talk about, and that's the variables of how much water can you pump through your system. And that's an unknown piece of information. That yes, you may be able to have a certain level of capacity, but if you cannot pump that water through your system because of the piping and that type of thing, that presents another problem that has to be solved. So in addition to the multitude of engineering reports we've had completed, we have now assigned the task of a hydrology study to our engineers to determine if we can pump that level of water up to between anything over 500,000 gallons to 1 million gallons through our system. And that's an incredible piece of information that we need to have. So why we can't invest $10 million in a plant if we can't push $1 million gallons of water through the system.
Mm-hmm.
So again, there's some information that we need to continue our dialogue with the county and the state.
Mm-hmm.
But those are all valid points, Mary. Thank you.
And to be clear, Greg, what you just said about exploring additional pumping capacity, that right now is not a certainty. It's something we're exploring. We might come up and hit nothing, or the amount that we could pump is significantly less than our most optimistic projection. but we are doing everything we can to maximize the value and the utility and the productivity of the plant we have.
That's right. And there's, again, and that's great information. Yes, Lisa?
Ms. Hickey, you said we approve water hookups for new development, 200 homes.
Mhm.
Can you clarify who is we? I just wanted to confirm what you just said.
Of
You
course.
approve the water
Of course.
hookups for 200 new.
Water availability would be the.
Is the application, every person who wants to do development must submit to Berkeley Springs Water Works. The superintendent, in conjunction with the water committee and the mayor, evaluates the proposals that we get. Now, in the case that you're speaking of, the 200 homes, Greg, I'm just gonna ask you to give me the name,
Well, DRB Homes.
DRB Homes. That's the developer. That developer actually did his homework because he knew that we don't have lots of extra cash laying around. And he offered to pay all of his own infrastructure costs. And we will meet him at the water meter. So this is not costing us anything, but this is really important to understand, we don't have the right to deny anyone in our service area water if we still have available water. This guy's in our service area. It's right past Sheets. So he asked for 200 homes. At the moment we have it, this is not a process, well, we like you, but we don't like you. So here, you take a number and we're going to take, it's not like that. He got in line and he got his water. And he was being very strategically on point in making that a high priority at the front of his process. Knowing, as he probably does, that this is becoming more of a finite resource in terms of our filtering capacity. So, yeah, but 200 homes.
What changed the offering to pay all infrastructure costs?
Well,
By
look,
DRB?
he showed up with that. We didn't negotiate. He showed up at the front door in his application and said, I will pay all these costs.
So that's the change from last time.
No.
Here's an important part.
Yeah.
And Mary did bring it up, but it kind of slid by. We are not allowed to discriminate in
Thank
who
you.
we serve and who we don't.
Mhm.
It is a matter of first come, first serve, and this is a Public Service Commission regulation. We can't say, no, you can't have water, but, oh, the guy down the street can. We're not allowed to discriminate. So it is a first come, first serve system with the Public Service Commission. If we denied water and we had it, then
They could sue.
yes, it wouldn't go. They could turn in a complaint to the Public Service Commission, and we would be in the wrong.
Mhm.
So if we have it and we can do it, we have to do it.
Right.
So-
Whether they're asking for 200 homes or they're asking for 5 of these people are asking for 1. We can't discriminate and make decisions, discretionary decisions. If you were in line and it's your number is called, what's your number? Is we've got the water, you're going to get it. And that's what this gentleman did.
Understand? You think?
Yeah. Well, if I have any other questions, I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Greg, you have anything you want to add in here?
Again, we are working with all stakeholders in the process, Lisa, including the state, the county, US Silica, and the water demands are not changing, they're increasing, every day. We know where all the growth is coming here, all the developers in Berkeley County, which is basically exhausting their land, they're all coming here and they're all looking. As Mary has mentioned, we are approaching that number, and we will reach that number in July. There's no doubt about it. Last year in July, we pumped 450,000 gallons of water last July. So you tack on 20 or 30,000 gallons a day for these new homes, you're at 480, and you are right up against your capacity. There will be no more water at that point.
Right.
And then it creates it's very complex because it creates other compliance issues that you need to have X amount of water in storage. Well, the more people you bring on the line, the more you have to increase your storage capacity. So now we have the built-in or the additional expenses of having to add more storage. So we have a 3-day supply of storage to stay compliant. We really need to work with our partners at the county level, and the county folks need to work with us. We have to be focused on the water system. They need to be focused on finding us the necessary financing to do the job. So we each have a lane, they drift a little into our lane, occasionally us into theirs, but they need to work on the grants and the funding and allow us to do what we do. We are the water utility, but that's their lane and their expertise, and we're going to lean into them because we are not going to put this this burden on the back of our ratepayers. Nor can we. We can't. It doesn't matter. I mean, the debt service alone would be impossible for us to make that jump to a larger capacity plant. Just the debt service would be an incredible amount of money for 1,450 customers to pay.
Right. And just as a reminder, when we signed the contract 3 years ago for the 522 South extension, the sewer was already signed on to the contract. We had to sign on as well because we're a match set. You need both utilities to sign on. And at that point, we very clearly communicated our expectation that the county was in earnest pursuing the exploration and drilling of secondary water sources, plural. And to manifest the vision they have for additional development in this county, our water utility was never going to seize the day anyhow. Our water utility is going to probably cut out around July. It'll cut out sometime this summer, and we will follow all the appropriate protocols. And then, new development is either on a well or they bring in American Water or whatever they do. That is the county's decision-making tree to figure out. But it's definitely not going to be ours.
The process to have a new water plant up, running, fully functioning is at a minimum 5 years. 5 years to add to your capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, we haven't even begun that process yet, and we're already getting very close to the capacity that we'll have. And we're 5 years away from another plant.
Mm-hmm. We're 5 years away from the upgrade of our plant.
Yeah, so there's a lot of tension
Yes.
and communication that needs to be had and to be understood.
Right. But what we can change is the numbers I just shared with you. The math is the math. And it's not really subject to interpretation. This is the number. It's 350 in January and it's 450 in July. And then we've got all these new folks coming on, and he's staying here $3,000 a month for residential customers. And if you add 3,000 times 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8, it's 213 times 3,000 gallons a month. That's just from the new customers we know about and said yes to. Are you doing that for me, Kate? You doing the math for me?
No, me?
Okay.
Now, if you have 200 customers, you're looking at.
Well, it's over 600,000.
600,000 gallons a month.
639,000.
Divided by 30 gets you to 20,000 gallons a day. So
Yep.
you look at that on a daily basis, and that's what we have to look at. And again, we're definitely at an inflection point on this. So
Yeah.
we will, the town of Bath and Berkeley Springs, we will meet the day. We'll meet the moment. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
We just need everyone to get on board to understand what's involved and what's at stake here.
Right. And I'm also committed as the Water Committee Chair to going on a regular basis before the Morgan County Commission to make sure that they are as apprised in real time as we all are.
Thank you. Okay.
Is
Yes,
it possible that after July we might be in a position where someone who applies for water in town or wants to upgrade to commercial won't be able to do that?
I mean, that's on the table for sure.
But in most cases in town, because we don't have a lot of infill, it's a change of ownership. So of course the new homeowner in the house that already had service is going to be serviced. What might be trickier is new infill development.
Right, yeah. And there's some other building that's being considered in town as well. Again, these are just the discussions we're having, and as the information becomes available, we're trying to share it and get ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll continue to have these conversations. All right,
Yes.
Thank you, Mary. This is that point in the meeting where if anyone has any questions, concerns, who would like to address council? Do you have anyone? No?
I'll go again.
Really?
The 1%, tax revenue
Municipal sales tax.
for fourth quarter,
Yes,
the announcement.
it's 122, approximately $122,000.
So there is, third quarter and fourth quarter
Mhm.
is my area of interest. That would give us a big picture. The last reporting I had was halfway through the year.
Mhm.
So trying to get that second half.
And we wait from the state to get our numbers.
Yeah, so are you asking for the third quarter and the fourth quarter?
Third and
numbers?
fourth quarter, the fourth quarter should have come by
We just-
the end of
Yeah,
January.
we received
Just
it.
got that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it was, I think it was, again, I can get you the exact number. I think it was about 115,000 in third quarter,
so fourth quarter was about,
122,000,
yeah, and then you said
115,000 for third quarter. Those are.
the third, you said approximately
Approximately.
115.
Yeah, and again, you're talking, third and fourth quarters are very active in, in the community. We have apple butters in there.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
about around 122,000 for fourth quarter
That's correct.
and around 115,000.
And then it will dip back down in first quarter here.
Yep.
We lost 2 weeks of economic activity due to the snow. But
So that's a good bit higher than the 60,000 that was projected from
Yeah.
that.
We always budget conservatively.
That's a big,
Woo.
again, that's,
sticking to 60,000 and a little off there.
Well, we didn't
Didn't know.
You don't
And the
know.
state
It's,
would not
it's a
help us
projection.
to project, because we would ask, well, okay, what is the sales tax taken in, but, what can we expect? Never, they would never project that. They would never give us that kind of.
they don't break
projection.
out the individual
They don't do
economic
that.
data for the town of Bath. Now we have the economic data for the town of Bath, so we can compare year over year sales.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot more information that we have by industry, by category. So it's great data to have moving forward.
Do you still anticipate a budget adjustment due to?
So yes, we will continue to have very positive budgets adjustments, and that's a good problem to have. We are setting the gold standard among class 4 municipalities for the financial of our town. We're operating at a very, very high level compared to other peer municipalities, I'll be honest with you. And that's, we have a luxury that a lot of folks don't have. So we can do, as Rick's talking about, doing multiple street paving projects, other economic development projects, our beautification projects, and all those improve the quality of life of the folks that live here. And they also produce additional 1% revenues by making the town more attractive and continuing to grow our tourism.
Now, when you hear us do budget adjustments, budget revisions and like this, that's what we've been doing the last few months, is adjusting because of this sales tax, because we, had no idea what to do, didn't want to over budget and find ourselves in some kind of, tight spot. And so we budgeted what we thought was prudent, and we were very prudent, but we didn't know. Now we know. So when we do the budget this coming year, that'll be starting next month, actually, to work on that. We'll have a better idea what to do.
And 4 quarters of data
Yeah,
to
now
do
we have
more accurate
something
forecasting.
to hang our thoughts on.
This is only good news.
I know. Let's not bury the lead here. We're getting to improve the town all the ways because this
Yes.
resource has made these kinds of
The
expenses
town is
possible.
more self-sustaining and self-reliant. And
Yes.
that we don't have to go to Charleston to get things done. We can get them done ourselves better, quicker, faster. And, we are committed to the folks here. And now that we have the level of resources we have, we can invest with the West Virginia Department of the Treasury. We can earn 6.5% on this money, up to 6.5%. So it's earning money. We're able to invest the money back into the community. This is an ideal scenario for us.
It's also the perfect size lab, a town this size. If we can't make the numbers work and make intentions that we've already manifest work in a town this size, where are you going to make them work? But it's also a very manageable
Very much.
aspiration to go from here to there in a town of this scale.
Yeah.
And we're all about it.
Lisa, there's just, right now, the number of opportunities that are made available to us it's incredible what we can do and what we can accomplish and how fast we're growing. And it's really, and as we look for more personnel to add more staff to the town, yeah.
Lisa, if you look at other towns that have the 1% sales tax, and I personally worked on this with the West Virginia State Legislature for years on the municipal league for years, and it was only a pilot program with the state for a while. They allowed Huntington and Charleston, then they expanded it to 5. They put in some class 3s. Then it was 10 cities, and they we got so sick of pilot programs. It was just, all these pilot programs are successful with this 1% sales tax. And they finally opened it up to, all municipalities. But that took, I bet you, 12 years to get it to that point. And so we watched success in other communities, and we couldn't quite get there here because we didn't have the ability. We didn't have the ability to have the income to help us sustain or match grants and all that.
Right.
That's an
another-
important part.
Another big one.
So that's what happens. Spend a
We're
lot of
not
time
using
doing
the
that.
B&O, we're not using the B&O tax, which is much more of a burden on the local business community. We don't have all the B&O taxes that other communities
Yeah, I
have.
was about to say, he said that was
Nothing like that.
It's just, again, this is just, it's all good news.
Yep.
You can put that as the headline, all good news. I know good news doesn't sell newspapers, but that is the reality of the town of Bath today.
But it is a great story, and it's a trajectory I'm very proud to have been a part of for the last 2.5 years and
It's been a long
however
haul.
many more.
It's been a long haul, Lisa,
Yes.
as you know.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's been a haul.
Anyone else?
I'm sorry to have
Yes.
to say this, but I just want to remind you of what I said before you passed the tax. And it was that you passed all the little taxes, the little fees and the little increases on everyone, including parking and
Yeah.
everything went up a little bit. And then you did the sales tax. And I said, this is going to make a lot of money. You should consider rolling back all those other little annoying taxes that all of us residents have to pay all the time. I pay for my contractors to get tickets all the time, and it's painful. Roll it back to 2020. It's a friendly Mayberry thing to do now that you've got the surplus. Consider it when you're massaging your budget, because
There's,
it's
you know,
still painful for everyone who lives here.
Priscilla, there's not a chance.
Well, what we elected a lot of you to be able to do that, and if you need to hear from some of the residents, you can, because I'm hearing from them.
Okay.
Well, yeah, again, I look at every one of those things every day. And, particularly as it relates to, the meters and that type of thing. As long, if we could manage the flow and we don't have people parked 24 hours a day overnight in certain parking spots in front of businesses, that's part of why there are meters, to keep that traffic moving. I would say, eliminating the meters would be an ideal first step type of thing. But again, this is newfound wealth. We are going to be as conservative as possible in these first 12 months to make sure we are doing everything we should do, because we need to think generationally now, out 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We've never done that before, and we are making those generational decisions. So again, we're here to protect the citizens and the businesses of the town of Bath, and we are 100% committed to their well-being and they have their success, and the fact that the prosperity is for everyone, not just for a select few. It's for every single person in here. So the value of your house increases by 33%. And, so there's a lot of really good things that are going to happen as a result of what we're doing here. And most people in West Virginia, their wealth is all in their property. They're not fully vested in the stock market. They're living inside their wealth.
No one's ever been taxed into prosperity in the history of the universe. So
No.
consider rolling back some of the things, like the amount that parking tickets are. That would be a great.
Our parking tickets are very, very low, to be honest with you.
Relative to other jurisdictions,
Of 800 people, I don't think so.
$15 a ticket.
It's
it's
eight
50
was a
in
lot
DC.
better.
Well, yeah.
It was a lot better,
Well,
and that was only a couple years ago. It
No,
went up
it
a
was,
lot.
it was $18 months ago, and it remained $8 for 15 years where we were losing money. We were losing money doing a lot of things wrong. Now we're doing a lot of things right, and we're showing the benefits of doing it right. And I'll stand by every decision that we made, because we've come a long way in 24 months, and we'll continue to do that. And you're going to see every penny reinvested back into the community.
Yes,
I'm
Not
not
for
arguing,
hoarding,
I think
it's
you guys
for
are doing a great
reinvestment.
job. I'm just saying, what I'm hearing from everyone is just these little things that are making them wish they didn't live here.
Well, then they should put their house, you know, for those folks, there's a lot of demand for people to move into this town that's exceeding the amount of people that want to move out. People cannot find housing in this town. Anytime there's every opportunity, there's 5 people waiting to buy. So there's, you know, sometimes I think that the people that are looking at this town love it more than we do.
I know,
And
but they're
no
not
one
the
loves it
ones
more than
waiting
we
the
do.
tables, they're not the ones doing the labor.
Right. Yeah. Do they live here?
Yes, they're trying
Wow.
to, especially,
Okay,
they're
they're
trying to stay.
they're
They're
trying
trying to
to.
stay.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
set the values. I mean, we can't give the real estate away. We can't give everything away. Then we would be back to where we were. So kind of,
Exactly.
yeah. Again, if you know you're running for public office and you'll be representing Morgan County, and I just hope that you remain to have your eyes on the town of Bath, because the town of Bath is a model of good governance. There's no doubt about
And
it.
financial
So,
management.
yeah, so I would expect for you and our other commissioners not to forget or nor neglect us, as we are an economic hub of this county. So I challenge you as a potential to do the job that needs to be done on the county level. Because when I look at things from the county, I don't see things being done so superbly well either.
No, I agree with you, and one of my goals is to improve the relationship between the county and the town, because there's really a communication breakdown. And I don't know the last time someone in town was ever even on the commission, maybe Susan will remember, but
But I guess you will lead the charge to reduce our taxes on the county level, so thank you. for that.
actually, you're taking the words out of my mouth.
Okay, all right.
Remember Tom Shufflebarger?
Yes.
He lived in town, he lived on Hagman Street.
Yes.
He was a commissioner at least 2 terms, I believe,
Yeah.
at least 2 terms. So he was the last commissioner that I know of that actually lived within the county.
What year was that, Susan?
That was probably 2000 to 2004, something like that, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. He was an engineer with US Silica. Remember the Shufflebarger?
Oh, very
They were
well.
fun.
Okay.
They were
Very
fun.
well.
They
It's
were
been a
fun.
long time.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Is that all we have? Susan, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Susan has to get to church.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so moved.
They might be out of pancakes.